Hello. So as you can see by the title, this video is about New Year's resolutions. So at the end of the year, I always make a video where I go over the resolutions I set for the year before, and I set myself some resolutions for the year ahead. And I've been doing this for about 8 years now.
New Year's resolutions, or revolutions as they used to call them.
So first of all, let's go through the resolutions I set for 2016.
To do more art.
Yes! Yes! Hell yeah! This may be one of the first resolutions that I've achieved and literally punched it in the face. I've really outdone myself on that one. I know I'm boasting, but I'm really happy. I set up an art YouTube channel and it has 15,000 subscribers. I set up an art studio in my old room. I opened an Etsy store. I've sold almost 600 pieces of work this year alone. But despite all my achievements, the fact that I even picked up a paintbrush again was a big thing.
Take on more cooking challenges.
I have tried, but there's still room for improvement. But yeah, I'm so much better than I was a year ago, 2 years ago. I haven't had food poisoning for a couple of years, so that's a good sign.
I want to read more, so I'm setting myself a challenge of reading 20 books or more.
According to my Goodreads account, and yes, the link is in the video description, I read 14 books. All of them are around my face right now. In addition to that, I did start reading 8 books. Haven't yet finished them for various reasons, but still, I'm okay with that. Also, over the course of this year, I've tried to read some different books in genres I'm not too fond of, so
Broaden my horizons in terms of Netflix watching.
At times it has been hard, and yes, there was a period where I didn't have Netflix, but overall, yeah, I've tried to watch different stuff, and I made a video recently about all the different stuff I've been watching. Sometimes it is very hard to submerge yourself into new franchises when you're so addicted to certain things. The Office. I hope to do even better on that front next year.
Go abroad.
Yes, now when I made that resolution, I had no plans, but then 2 months later I had an email inviting me over to California for VidCon, which then got me out to the States, and then I went on a road trip across Oregon, back down to California, and then from California back to Oregon, back to Washington, and I nearly made it to Canada. I was so close. It was a great summer. One day I'm gonna make it to Canada. It's on my bucket list.
Learn how to be a responsible adult and get to grips with things such as taxes.
I'm slowly getting there. I mean, I'm very grateful for the fact that my parents are around. There's so many things that education did not prepare me for in adult life. It is very stressful and confusing, but at the end of the day, it's a massive learning curve. I don't think you can just suddenly become an adult. I think you spend the whole of your adult life learning to be an adult. As for being a responsible adult, I try my best.
Which leads me on to my final one. I want to move out permanently and into my own space.
Unfortunately, due to rising house prices, rising rent prices, health problems, other problems, etc., no, I've not been able to move out yet. For the last 6 months, my health has been up and down like this, so it just doesn't seem the right time to leave. And also, unlike everyone around me that seems to be renting, I'm looking to buy a house in the next year, 2 years. So yes, I'm still at home, but I have a battle plan. When I look at the resolutions that I set for last year, I'm quite surprised that I didn't set any more. Of course, there are some that I set for myself that are private, but still, come on, Becca, you could have done better. But anyway, let's set some resolutions for 2017. 2017, 2017, such a mouthful. This resolution I know I've set for the last couple of years, but it's still important. To drink more water. The next one is to cut down on my hot chocolates and drink more herbal teas. This one's another vague one. To get into a daily routine. I'm in my mid-20s now, I need to start accommodating the changes to my body. To get more daylight, boost my vitamin D levels. To try and get 7 to 8 hours sleep a night. I very rarely get that much sleep, especially in one go. I can sleep about 4 hours and then I wake up and before you know it I can't get back to sleep again properly. But yeah, I'm not 17 anymore. I need more sleep. Even if concealer hides the purple circles, it's not good enough. As I say this resolution, it does sound a bit vague, but to tackle my social phobia and introvertness. I've always had social problems. It's not the first time I've set a resolution like this, but this year it's reached a point where it has stopped me working, leaving the house. I've had to turn down so many opportunities because of my fear, and I feel I've lost relationships in addition to that, so it's got to change. Don't know if you can see, but I'm sort of enclosing into myself. Yeah, I'm really, really worried about that one. It's important. The next one is always have something to look forward to or work towards. In the last year or so, it kind of feels like all the lights have gone out and there's nothing really for me to aim for. And I feel like when you have something, it sort of propels you forwards. So I've got to find something and work towards it. Boom. Even if it's a trip away, like Disney, for example, just having something in the background that you're aiming for might help. Say yes to more opportunities and get involved in more events. I am talking to myself when I say this, I'm using all the wrong pronouns and tenses, but even if you don't feel able to do the stuff, if you say no, you will never know whether or not you were able to have done the stuff. So say yes. If it goes wrong, don't do it again. Stop being scared and just jump in. Take risks. To continue altering my diet as best as I can, whilst accommodating my health problems, but also my concerns for animal welfare and animal cruelty. To be honest, that doesn't just go for food, but currently I think that's the place to start. I've got too many products to use up right now before I can make the conversion. To use up as many cosmetic products I have as possible. Company sent me products, I lost my hair, so then that erased 6 months of shampoo and conditioner use. So yeah, I've got a lot to wade through and finish. I would like to make a longer video on this, but to be a pescatarian. I've been both a vegetarian and a pescatarian before, and it made me severely ill. So the fact that I'm embarking on this again is a bit scary, but I think I'm more mature, my diet's better than it was, and I feel mentally okay. So let's have a go. I can't make any promises. To read more books. I don't want to put pressure on myself, but I'd like to read at least 15. To go to the leisure centre as much as possible, do body balance, water aerobics, go to the gym. To continue tackling the hoarding problem. To be fair, I have made some huge changes this year and I felt more able to tackle it, so I do feel like that is more possible this year. I know I've said that one before. To keep learning French. Je m'appelle Rebecca. Ugh, it's got to improve. And the last one is to keep teaching myself to play the flute. Whilst there are other resolutions on my list, that's more than enough for this video. And again, I think some are more private than others. Those are the ones I feel able to share. So that brings me to the end of this video, and if all goes to plan, then this will be the last video I post in 2016. So thank you 2016. Can't wait to say goodbye to you. I know I don't tend to do year reviews anymore, but I think for lots of people this year has been very negative and distressing and sad, etc. But for me, I haven't felt like that. For me, it's felt more stationary. So it's not been a terrible year, but it's not been one of my betters. But I've had worse. So in some way I'm quite grateful for this year. I know I've been quite negative about years in the past, but know that this year, it's been okay. As I've said, I am excited for the new year, and I love the fact that you can kind of start again. I want to start again. There's so many things I'm going to do differently next year. Not just the resolutions that I've set, other stuff. I think the very last thing I have to say before I disappear is thank you for your support for this year and for all the years past. I've been on here 10 years, that's a lot of support. It's meant an awful lot, and the fact that I am still doing this is a blessing, and I'm very grateful. Right, I'm now going to go, and I will see you in 2017. Whatever it is, I will see you then, so...